For grass fire in San Joaquin County tonight. Good evening. I'm Luke Clary. CalFire is calling this the Corral Fire, and it's been burning near the Alameda County line since about 2:30 this afternoon. We know that at least 2 firefighters have been injured just hours into this fight. Authorities have closed that stretch of I-580 from near the Alameda County line to where the highway meets back up with I-5 south of Tracy. That stretch has been closed since 7 tonight. And here's a look at the area currently under evacuation orders. Now, this is nearly all south of I-580 near Tracy. Tracy police are saying that the evacuation areas are south of the city limits. Garshpal Sangha has been there all evening long. And Garshpal, what can you see from where you are?
Yeah, Luke, tonight looking a lot better in terms of at least the condition. Just a few hours ago, the winds were very strong. Right now, the winds have sort of let up. This is the first time crews have really been able to be dealt with this hand. So now they're able to fight this fire. Earlier, the wind was just helping this fire grow. And that fire started this afternoon. From what we saw, there was a large burn scar north of Corral Hollow Road. And that is when the wind helped the fire jump the road and began burning south. Now the wind was helping the fire push south along Interstate 580. That is what's happening right now along the Alta.
The big concern is the grass crop. Being out, just walking through it, it's 4 feet tall, and it's pretty thick and matted. We call it a light flashy fuel. That grass just burns so readily, especially when it's fanned by these winds.
You can see we seem to be having some connection issues with Garshpal there in rural San Joaquin County. This is a relatively remote area, but this is a developing situation, and we are still trying to learn more about how this fire started or when the people who are in that area will be allowed to return to their homes. At latest count here from CalFire's incident map, we see that this fire is about 13% contained, and it has grown to 10,000 acres. So stay with us on air or on the ABC10 app for updates. And before we get to weather, look at this. PG&E says that about 200 customers are without power in that area tonight. As we turn things over now to meteorologist Carly Gomez, it's a rough week to be without power or air conditioning.
Yeah, absolutely. We're hoping they get that restored soon before an excessive heat watch goes into effect on Tuesday. I want to talk about this fire and the winds that are coming in. You see them coming in off the ocean, starting to dip their way down as a trough is overhead into the Pacific Northwest, bringing them rain. Meanwhile, the winds moving down and then moving right back up as you see that dipping motion from the west toward the northeast, and you can see those winds beginning to shift north. Now, Garshpal mentioned there was a burn scar north of that area. Now, that's somewhat of good news if that is and remains to be fairly big in size, because that means it'll deter some of that fire from growing north, because most of it remains south of Tracy now. But the wind direction is now headed toward the northeast, coming in from the west southwest to the northeast. So you can see that movement there moving toward the northeast, and that is not good in the overnight hours. The current wind gust right around there is where the biggest pickup is happening now. And we're seeing anywhere from 30 to 45 mile per hour wind gusts currently. And today we saw some strong gusts in that area as well. Not showing up here, but you can see just the colors. That's up to about 45 mile per hour wind gusts near the Tracy Triangle. Now, the Corral Fire, as mentioned, has been spreading its way toward the east, and 580 there being impacted, closed in both directions. But hopefully tonight that can be contained and further being stopped toward heading east. But in this case, we don't want it to head northeast, because this is where obviously the city of Tracy is, and the direction of the winds moving toward the northeast there could begin impacting a lot of people. So please be ready tonight just in case something happens and you need to get going, because embers can move and spread very quickly. Our traffic maps also showing that closure there of 580 impacted people who can head over to I-5. So please be careful and be ready and alert in case you need to head out.